Hey everyone, this is T-Boy. I'm not really a public speaker, so just bear with me while I fumble through this. I wanted to make this video to try to inspire and motivate people with the condition of chronic pelvic pain or pelvic floor dysfunction, also called prostatitis. About 2 years ago, I played about 10 games of racquetball, and when I got home and took a shower, I was drying off. I looked down and my groin area was super swollen. So I immediately got dressed and went to the hospital. You know, guys, you know what I'm talking about. You don't want anything falling off. They did an ultrasound and they didn't find anything. So they sent me home with saying just to relax and take some Advil, relax for a few days. That night, whenever I got home to go to sleep, I went to bed, and when I was relaxing to go to sleep, I would get spasms in my pelvic. It pretty much kept me up all night. I can't tell you, I can probably count on one hand how many times I slept all night since this started. My muscles in my pelvic area were so tight that it was hard for me to pee. I would really have to concentrate on relaxing my muscles so that I could pee, and it felt like I always needed to go to the restroom. Like 5 minutes later, I would have to go again. For the first 3 months, I pretty much didn't do anything. Sat on the couch and watched TV. That was the extent of my day. Just walking from the couch to the restroom, I would get anxiety. I had never had anxiety before, so I didn't realize exactly what was going on. It felt like my heart was like gonna pop out of my chest. And when my anxiety got high, then my muscles got tighter. And then as my muscles got tighter, my anxiety went up higher, and then my muscles would get tighter. It was like a vicious cycle. It took me about 2 months to realize that the anxiety wasn't part of the condition. I really thought it was part of the condition. Once I realized that I was having anxiety, I was able to control it. About 2 weeks after I went to the hospital the first time, I was going to bed, and I got a real bad anxiety attack. This was before I knew that I was getting anxiety. I didn't really know what was going on, and my muscles tightened up so much that my throat muscles constricted my airway, so it felt like I was gonna suffocate, like I couldn't breathe. So I went to the hospital again, and this time they did a CT scan with the dye and some blood work, and everything came back negative. Everything came out okay. They sent me home saying just relax for a few days and take some Advil. I literally thought I was going to die. I really thought that they were sending me home to die, because I knew there was something else wrong. The next day, I made an appointment with a urologist and a cardiologist. When I went to the cardiologist, he did the EKG, the stress test, ultrasound of my heart. Everything checked out okay. I was concerned about it because of the anxiety. I still, at that point, I still didn't know what was going on. And then whenever I went to the urologist, He did all the uncomfortable tests, and he didn't find anything. He did some blood work, and he did a semen sample, and I kind of explained the symptoms again, and he thought that I might have had pelvic floor dysfunction. So he gave me some antibiotics and alpha blockers. So I thought, okay, now we're getting somewhere. And I thought I'd go home, I'd take the antibiotics, and in a week or so I'd be fine. But that wasn't the case. In about a week or two, I was still having issues, and I had finished the antibiotics and the alpha blockers. So I went back to the urologist again, and he gave me more antibiotics and more alpha blockers. So I took those for a couple of more weeks, and after that I realized that there was really something else that was wrong. So I started Googling, and I hate to Google my symptoms because that's some scary shit. Because the first things that come up are some horrible and uncurable disease that you have, and that's why I don't like to Google whenever I have issues like this. So I watched a YouTube video. Actually, it was my first YouTube video that I searched for pelvic floor dysfunction, and it was a lady that came on and said, if you're having these symptoms, and she named them all, and two of the main ones is pelvic tightness and also lower back pain. And I pretty much had all the others that she was talking about also. And she started talking about if you've been to the doctor and they can't find anything medically wrong with you, then you may have pelvic floor dysfunction. And I started doing more research after that, since I kind of pretty much knew that's what I had. And all the videos were talking about stretching. Stretching helped relieve the discomfort. So I started going to the gym twice a day, in the morning and in the afternoon, and I would go in the whirlpool, warm up my muscles, and it seemed like it helped relax the muscles too. Then I would stretch, and that helped. It helped a lot. And then I started going to a massage therapist 2 to 3 times a week, and that really helped. My massage therapist gave me, or recommended, maybe going to a chiropractor. And like most of you, you've heard good stories and bad stories about chiropractor. But she reassured me and told me about a few clients that she had sent over there, and he really helped them. So I started going to the chiropractor, and I'm glad I did, because he gave me a few more stretches that I wasn't doing that really helped. It's been almost 2 years since I started this journey. It was in December of 2017 when it started, and now we're in September 2019. And one of the things I really remember was I felt so alone, because I didn't know anyone. I'd never heard of this before, so I didn't know anyone that had been through this before and that I could talk to about. I remember wishing that there was somebody I could call and talk to them and kind of get some type of reassurance that I was going to be okay. So I decided that for the first 5 people that email me, I will do like a consultation with them, give you guys some tips and some techniques that I use to get better. In March, I started exercising again. I started mountain biking once a week. At first, it was pretty rough. It would take about 2 to 3 days to recover from a ride. Now it only takes me till the next day to recover from a ride, and I get stronger every week. I am so much better than I was last year. Last year I didn't even want to get off the couch. I made myself go hiking at least once a month because I was always in the house and I needed to get out and do a little something. It was uncomfortable, but I'm glad I made myself do it. It's good for your body and gets the blood flowing, and also it makes you a little happier doing something that you love. Also, it helps you stay positive and motivated to get better. Now I can just walking around and not exerting myself, I don't have any discomfort. It's only whenever I go exercise that I feel a lot of discomfort. I'm probably about 90%. I'm 100% better than last year, but I'm not 100% yet. I'm hoping by next year, whenever mountain bike season comes around in March, that I'll be 100% so I can ride every day like I used to. Yeah, there were quite a few days that I was discouraged and depressed, but I'm not a negative person, so I always stayed positive and always wanted to get better. And that's why I kept doing the work and putting in the effort, the stretching and everything else that I do to try to get better and to keep getting better. It seemed like I was doing a lot of putting in a lot of work and a lot of effort to trying to get better for very little improvement. So I would say that you can't really go by day to day. You have to go by every 2 weeks to a month. I would recommend maybe keeping like a journal and write down your improvements for these 2 weeks or this month, because there are going to be a lot of days that you're going to be depressed about you doing all this work, and I mean for let's say 6 months to a year and not really seeing a whole lot of improvement. You're gonna notice that you feel better, but it's kind of like, why am I not 100% yet? This condition just takes a lot of time to heal. So the main thing is, don't get discouraged. Just keep doing the work and putting in the effort, and you will continue to get better. Not sure how long that's going to take. I would plan on it taking 1 to 2 years, just depending on your situation and also how much dedication and effort you put into it to getting better. I think a lot has to do with you not knowing at the beginning. So you lose like 2 to 6 months sometimes not really knowing what your condition is and not knowing the proper techniques and what you need to do to get better. So it's kind of like trial and error. And until you get into the routine and really know how to move forward, it'll take you a lot of guessing. So, like I said, the first 5 to email me, I'll do a consultation and see if maybe I can give you some tips and techniques to try to help you get on the right track. Sorry for all the editing. I'm going to go ahead and put my email below, and thanks for watching my video.